right, and we're live. Hi, everyone. I am Brittany, the Cosmic Lunar Soul, and today I have with me Priscilla from A Life Full of Simplicity, and I have Alana from 3 Degrees of Love. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I always want to say 3 Degrees of Separation because of the 6 Degrees of Separation movie, so I have to like pause my brain. But
It's funny that you say that because, technically in the world we're living in right now, that's pretty much what we're living in is 3 degrees in a state of
probably
separation.
I'd be curious if they did like a new study on that. So today we are doing the hashtag Pacing the Tarot by Sorsha Soaring. I have all the information in the description box and all that jazz. So if you want to follow along, you can do that. But I guess, do you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick for anybody who's new? We can start with you, Sil.
Sure. I'm Priscilla. I'm the owner of A Life Full of Simplicity here on YouTube.
And I am Alana of 3 Degrees of Love, 3 Degrees of Love Divination.
And you guys, I have all of their information in the description box. So if you are joining from someone else's YouTube, make sure you subscribe and follow us over on Instagram or any other socials.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get started. This is a really fun tag because it's really open-ended. So it was a little hard for me. I don't know if I know some of the prompts are hard for Sil. I don't know about you, Alana, how you felt. But the first one is your least used least used deck, Tarot and Oracle. Why is it your least used deck? And what is one thing you can do to change that if you so choose to? Sil, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So I'm going to talk about tarot first. So my least used tarot deck is the Good Tarot. This is by COLLAB Reed. It is illustrated by Jenna Della Grattaglia. This is a Hay House publication deck, and I would say that it is my least used because of the cardstock.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an older deck, older Hay House deck. Also, hi Branwyn. Hopefully I pronounced your username correctly. So this is an older Hay House deck, so it's like super glossy.
Oh, it's that sticky gloss, right?
Yes, it's high gloss. It's sticky gloss.
Which deck is that again?
This is the Good Tarot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
So mine is an older edition. I think it's from when it came out, so 2017, because I don't have any other printings here other than the 2017 marker. So yes, it is like their older cardstock where it's like super glossy. You can like barely it doesn't even move because it's so sticky. It's really hard to shuffle. Really hard to shuffle. So I don't use it as much, but I really do love this deck. The illustrations are very fantasy-like. This pairs well with any of her other decks, COLLAB Reed. I believe it would also pair well with the Sacred Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Because this deck is very fantasy-esque. The only way that I would ever use this more, or that I would change that, is if Hay House republished it in a different cardstock, or if they came out with a mini version and the mini version was in a different cardstock. That's the only way. I don't really think I would change my use of this right now for any other reason, because the cardstock is so hard to shuffle. But I do really love this deck, and I wish I could use it more, but it's just so difficult. I don't know how to shuffle these. I would have to do a bunch of piles and then I don't know, do some weird things with the pile.
Like manually shuffling it.
That's just too much work. When I can just pull another deck and just use that faster.
Yeah.
You need the small but mighty power shuffler hands because I have a very similar deck like that. It's it's Radley Valentine, Hay House published.
It's probably an older one, so it's in their older
Yeah,
card
it's an
stock.
older one too, so it's got the same glossy cardstock. It was
Yeah.
actually one that I was going to choose for this tag too, but then last minute couldn't find it, so I decided to grab another one. But it's one of those too where it sticks, and I have, especially because I got it like early on in my tarot journey.
Yeah.
And earlier on, it was like that. It was really difficult to shuffle, but since sort of getting used to it, but I still don't use it. I haven't used it in a while. It's the same thing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So that was the Good Tarot. And then the Oracle that I chose is also from Hay House. This was actually my first ever deck. So I bought this back in 2014. This is the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. I don't use this because I don't vibe with it anymore. That's really the reason why I don't use it. This is one of Hay House's way, way older decks because it has gilding on it. Hay House no longer does gilding on their decks. So this is a very old one. The gilding is like chipping. It's not really the best gilding. It is also in their glossy cardstock, but this one is not as bad. It's not as sticky in my opinion.
Yeah.
So the cardstock was. Sorry.
Your copy looks really nice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't use it that much, but it's still it's still chipping. Like there's places where it's chipping, like in the corner,
especially in the corner.
And the corners. So like. Yeah, it's not as bad. Like my gilding never looks that bad in my opinion, even when I use it a lot. And I use this quite a bit in the beginning when I first was learning tarot because I thought this was tarot. I use it quite a bit for the first year that I was doing tarot. But the reason I don't vibe with it is not because of the cardstock. It's actually because of the borders. I hate the borders so much. And I hate the font on the cards. Like, I don't even know if you can see, but I hate the font on the cards.
It's really funny.
Now I did try working with this deck again to give it another chance later on in my journey, a few years ago, actually, when I did my unboxing or flip through rather of this deck for my channel. And I did use it for a bit, and then I decided, nah, I'm just going to keep it for the sake of keeping it. There's different colored borders, which I don't mind. Like if they just had like the color at the bottom, I would be fine with that and change the font. I think that would be so much better because I really don't like the borders. I do like the art though. The art is actually pretty nice. Just if it wasn't not borderless and like not glossy, maybe in a different font, I think I would like it better. But the suits do have different colors in them. Here's a red one. I think this is wands, but we're supposed to represent wands. But yeah, here's a purple one. But yeah, the real reason is really because of the borders. I don't like the borders and I don't like the font. And yeah, as I said, I did try to work with it again, but I don't know. I just didn't vibe with it. So I keep it for the sake of collecting and the fact that this was my very first deck. It has sentimental value. So I just keep it for that purpose.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get rid of something when it has sentimental value. And
yeah. And I bought it for real cheap. So this originally in Canada retailed for $18.95, which now it no longer does. It retails now, I think, for $35.99. And I actually bought it for like 14 Canadian. So this is like the cheapest, the cheapest deck I think I own. But not really, because I have a few decks that I got for $5 on sale. But back then, this was cheap, right? And it had gilding and everything, which now if you, I think, pretty sure they republished this. It doesn't have gilding anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, my copy is way back. Way back when.
Bronwyn was saying like one of her favorite Oracle decks is the original version of the map from the same author. And she was saying she also doesn't like the borders, but she pushes through because she likes the readings she gets with them.
I have the map oracle from Colette Baron Reed. I have the newer edition though, because I actually didn't like the original edition.
Oh,
with the
so they
brown
like
borders.
changed it from the
They
editions.
yeah, they
Oh, that's good.
I
republished
think
it in a new
some of
edition.
the art is a little bit different too in the newer for the enchanted maps.
I don't think so.
Slightly. It's very subtle. I think I saw a walkthrough of a comparison once, and I think there, unless I'm mistaking it for a different oracle that was redone, but I'm pretty sure there was slight changes.
I don't remember because I watched a comparison and I didn't see anything other than the fact that they changed the board. There's no border now, and they changed the title background, so it's not a map thing.
That
it's
for
blue
sure.
thing.
But I thought there was maybe one or two cards that were slightly different. But I don't. Anyway,
It could
I could
also
be
be
mixing that
like
up with a different.
the colors might be a little different between the cards, and maybe the
Yeah,
images
possible.
aren't. Because I've seen them do that too, especially if they change the card stock. It's just not intentional. It's just how it prints. So,
Yeah, could be that too. So
yeah,
that could be it. And Luke was saying his least used tarot is the Wild Unknown, just because he has specific uses for it. And I totally feel that. I feel like I have decks that like they're intentionally not used a lot, so I didn't really count that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, and
while I
Wild
also
Unknown
have
is kinda
decks
like
I
that
only
too.
use for specific reasons, but
Yes.
Mhm.
So like technically my traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck is probably the least used because I like to pull it out when I use it for like learning specifically. So I don't need to pull it out as often as I used to.
Yeah.
But just like as an example.
All
right,
learning or teaching someone else.
Yes, exactly. Like just to go with the original images, and it's easier because it's the default and it's going to be something familiar that people see.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
I usually leave it for that. All right, Alana, what were your picks for least used?
Well, I probably will have to have a bonus. So, of course, I also picked. But here's the thing. So mine is, yes, an old one. And it does have the gilding. But mine didn't take long before it looked like this.
Oh, yeah. That's how.
It is quite trash.
wow.
But I'm also a riffle shuffler and Brits. So, and I use the crap out of it. I know, that's why. So the thing is with this one, I'm not going to show images because you already did, but whatchamacallit, yeah, like you can see like even some of the cards, like the back is like totally like ripped and trashed. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. That's how mine look.
But
my gilded, especially the high gilding.
Yeah.
That's how they always look. I'll actually show you one when we get to the end.
Yeah,
it's
but
bad.
But this one, I can't bear to, like, I've graduated from it per se. Also, it's a tarot deck, but no, it's not. Look again, it's an oracle, right? Like, so it's like,
yeah, it's
and
not
I'm
a
like,
tarot deck.
no, we graduated from this. But because again, it was one of my earlier ones, which is again why I hang on to it. And yeah, that's so, like, you know, that's kind of why. But because when I first got it, before I realized whatever, I really liked it. And because I'm love and, you know, as I, you know, self-discovering myself and everything, I had to get this one.
Oh, Thoth.
No, it's the other deck from the same creator. So John Holland has a few decks. That's his other deck.
So it's a Psychic Tarot, but for the heart.
Oh, okay.
So it's like his companion deck.
Yeah.
So this one isn't gilded. The version that I got now is one that's not gilded.
Is that
actually you asked
tarot?
me if we were willing?
No,
because
it's not tarot again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. There's probably no 10s and no court cards
Oh
because
yeah, it's the same. It's totally the same
in
as
structure,
the
so
yeah
no
the
10s
first
and no
one.
court cards.
But I was gonna ask you, so if you were willing to give up your deck to me because the gilding is still intact.
Nope.
She's not.
My sentimental. I don't part with any of my decks, even if I don't use them. They're in my collection. I keep them in my collection. I'm not
Yeah,
one to
same.
get rid of
So
decks. I love my first
so
deck
I will
ever.
keep up my beat up.
It's okay. It shows that
I
you
still
love the
love
deck
it.
because you
So
use it, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Even if it's
exactly.
beat
I
up, it
still love it.
shows the point is that it shows that you've used it and that you've used it and loved it and whatnot. That's really the point when decks are all beat up and old. It shows that use, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the point of it, in my opinion.
But honestly, it didn't take long because, like, I think
Yeah, the gilding
within
is
the
not
first
good.
couple of
It's like,
months, like I think it was in weeks. It looked like
yeah,
it had been, like it was already trashed and looked like it had been used for years. And I was like, I even
yeah,
contacted Hay House to like be like, because I originally got this actually from Indigo Chapters here in Canada.
yeah.
You know, fellow Canadians. So yeah. But they basically told me I had to go back to where I bought it from. But at that point, I was like, that seems like too much of an effort. So it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I already bonded with it. I was fine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Chapters Indigo would have done anything either. They probably would have told you to contact the publisher. So,
Exactly. Passing of the buck, right? But
yeah.
so with the heart one, which I will show you, part of why I don't I don't use it. I used it a few times, but
Mhm.
what really irked me as something so because okay, forget the fact that it's advertised as a tarot, but really an oracle.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
that's annoying.
in
I don't like that.
in I don't know. I think it's in the first one. It's not like that because I compared the two, but this version of it. So right, like you've got red, green, blue. What is that? Like a purple, like a purple, violet, or whatever.
Yeah,
And then
Violet,
the
I think is
chakra
what it's called.
cards, right? The chakra cards that they include, because yeah, it
Yeah.
only goes up to 9 or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
then yeah, right. So but then I think, what was it? It was in the guidebook. So traditionally, understanding, you know, like when you understand tarot and you understand like the colors associated with the, you know, the for the minor arcana, right? Like, so, you know, red traditionally be, you
Wand.
know,
Yeah.
wands for passion,
Yep, for fire.
blue for water or whatever, and blah blah blah, right? So on and
Yeah.
so
Which is how
forth.
they structure it. So
Yeah.
actually, Branwyn actually asked that question, what it means when you say it's tarot, but no, it's oracle. So the deck itself, this deck here, plus the one that Alana is talking about, it says that it's tarot on the box. It says tarot and then oracle deck, but it's actually structured. The way it's structured is it wants to be a tarot. So it has like a major suit with that's supposed to represent the major arcana from a tarot deck, and then it has the minor cards, but in the minor it only goes from 1 to 9. It doesn't have a 10 card and it doesn't have the court card. So that's what we mean that it's not tarot, because tarot has a specific structure. It has to have 78 cards. There has to be 1 to 10 in the minors with the court card. So you have to have the
Mm-hmm.
page, the knight, the queen, and the king, right? Whether you rename those to be whatever to match your style, or you be uniqueness, that's fine, but they have to have those cards to be a tarot. So this
Mm-hmm.
actually only has 65 cards in it. It has the ones that I mentioned, the 22, what would be major arcana, and then 1 to 9 for every suit. But then it has a bunch of chakra cards. So the different
Mm.
chakra cards. That's it. So it's not a tarot, it's an oracle, but it's trying to advertise itself as a tarot, but it's not. So it's false advertising, in my opinion.
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then but the part that irks me here in the guidebook is because hold on, where was it? Let me see if I find where. Okay, hold on. Somewhere in here, when you go to, okay, maybe it's, no, where was it? Okay, so in the minor arcana cards, the way the guidebook is set up, physical, red border, is pentacles. I'm sorry, what? What?
Oh, okay. So in that
Since
one,
when
they
is
mix
red
the.
pentacles?
Oh, that's weird. Let me check this one.
It's not like that in that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I compared it, right? So, and I don't know why, but the thing is, like, small details like that don't normally irritate me. But this, for some reason, in
No,
this
actually,
set,
it is. It isn't like that in here too.
Oh, I
is
hate
it?
that.
Or maybe it's just
Physical
not
is.
quite in your face in this guidebook.
No, it says it. It says physical, which would be earth, is red. Emotions, which would be cups, is green.
What?
Mental, which would be swords, is indigo, which is the blue color. And then spirit, which is supposed to be wands because it talks about inspiration and aspirations, passion, whatever, is violet, which is purple.
What?
Oh,
So see, it doesn't even make sense. The colors,
I
the
don't.
colors is
I
so
hate
weird.
that.
Anyways.
okay, but you know what? It's because it's a little bit more subtle here because I don't really read the table of contents, but it's in
Oh,
your face in this one because it starts. Well,
I never even
that
noticed. See, that's how much I don't use that.
now because here in this one it goes. Hold on. No, not that far.
I don't even I don't even like when they rename the suits, so this would just destroy me.
So it's from here. Like they have
Oh,
the
okay.
title Minor Arcana, and then bam, right on the next page, physical, red border, pentacles.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like,
So
what?
Robin said that the colors make sense to her because if you think of it in terms of chakras, it makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
But they should have said it that way.
Yeah, they should have mentioned that. I don't think they mentioned that.
Okay, so
Because they do have the chakra cards, but I don't think they mentioned specifically that it's based on the
Yeah.
chakras.
I don't really know the chakras well enough to have made that connection.
Yeah, neither do I. So thank you, Robin. That's very
Yeah.
helpful.
okay, thank you, Robin. I think you just saved the decks for me.
Okay, so there you go. That's
That
why
I might actually try using it again.
this is the chance that she needed to use.
It was, yeah, you gave it a second chance. There you go.
And
I
it's
was
really
ready
funny.
to outcrap them both. Like,
And it's really funny because the prompt is literally like, what do you need to try to use this again? Well, there you go.
There you go.
That's it.
Robin gave it to you.
Yes.
thanks, that's funny. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Well, we
Yeah.
will move them to the forefront for you.
And Robin, that's exactly it. It's because they like market it as a tarot deck, so it doesn't fit the tarot standard. So
Exactly.
but then they also don't explicitly state why these changes were made.
I
So it
know.
just makes it confusing.
Yeah.
See, now that makes sense. So now now I can put logic to it, I guess.
Yeah.
In some weird way in my head. Okay,
You can
you know
like
what?
reframe how the deck works now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you very, very much for that.
Yeah.
Yay.
Robin is MVP of the chat right now. Okay, so for me, I guess I'll start with tarot. I chose the Untamed Mystery deck. I talk about this deck a lot, and it's
yes.
because of the cardstock. And I think that cardstock really can just ruin the experience of the cards because
hmm
they're really cool otherwise. Like here are the backs; they just have that really cool macabre feel, and then the like eyes and bones are kind of like the theme throughout the cards.
Yeah, that deck is so cool.
it's like so well designed, and like the borders aren't really harsh because the images go through the borders. So it almost just feels like the background of a card instead. And I fell in love with the artwork, but the thing is they're made of plastic. So they're so slidey. They're like
Oh
I
my
mean, if
God.
I wasn't cupping them right now, I would have lost all of them.
Yeah.
And then because of that, they're so like flimsy. Like I do this all the time. It's plastic. And as like a riffle and bridge shuffler, they'll go everywhere. And then even overhand, when you take out a piece, it buckles. So
Oh yeah.
shuffling is like I feel like I have to like sweat through the shuffling because it's just like, oh God, what's gonna happen? So I tend not to use them a lot. I really like it. Sometimes I force myself to pull them out because I paid for them, but more or less they're just in my collection now because they were something I kickstarted and that was it. So unfortunately, there's really not much I can do to want to pull them out. It sucks, but it is what it is.
It's funny because though that kind of cardstock, I know what you're talking about. It is tricky because it's almost like a plasticky feel.
Yes,
But a
it's
very
plastic.
similar cardstock to that I find is a linen finish. More specifically, the stiffer linen that's like Pagan Otherworlds and the Playful Heart Tarot type kind of, if any of you are familiar with any of those or have seen them talked about. But
No.
I have the Playful Heart Tarot, and
No, I don't have that.
sometimes as you describe, but it in a weird way, because I've had a few times, like usually I can control it, but I've had a few times where it will pop and make a bit of a splat, not a total explosion, but just like a tiny one in front of me, right? Like a little mini pop or whatever with all the cards. But there's been a few times playing with the Playful Heart Tarot that it in shuffling it's happened, and the cards that would pop out, it was if it the way that it makes me feel like, like when I really think about it, and where that the terminology of me talking about my minions and my piggies and things like that, it kind of sort of all developed, with the understanding of our feelings and there being, our inner children. The more trauma we may have, we have more children to, have to deal with, if you will. That was a concept also introduced to me through therapy with my therapist. And anyway, so yay, mental health, shameless plug. Anyhow, so with that being said, the way that the Playful Heart Tarot, when shuffling it and it would pop like that, it gives me this sense of playful energy, like like my feelings are my inner children are like giggling and laughing, and they're the ones that are sort of pushing the message out that has to come out or whatever. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's like the sense that I got, and that's my connection, my personal connection with that deck, with the Playful Heart Tarot. And just even, I guess the perspective that I feel like I have with their creator, just her energy, and the fact that like I appreciated her enough that I even sought her out to have her on my channel. So, and we did an interview about the Playful Heart Tarot and stuff. And so yeah, that's in the description box of my thing. Another shameless plug, but anyway. And yeah, so it goes back to the whole shuffling thing where you're saying that's I kind of enjoy that aspect of that, even though it can get annoying sometimes.
Yeah, this is nothing but annoying. So that's awesome that works for you, but I hate it. And Robin actually described it really well. She was like, it's the haunted house of shuffling versus stressed anticipation. That's exactly how it is. Like, I don't think I can make it fun in any kind of way because it's always a mess. It's horrible. Hate it. But that was a good transition into the next deck that I chose because I keep it around because I really love the artist and stuff. This is the Crystal Forest Oracle.
Yes.
I think this was like one of the very first decks I kickstarted, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you said in one of the previous collabs.
Yeah. When I went back and looked at the dates of stuff, I think it was. But it's really cool because the cards are basically different crystals. Like this is smoky quartz. This one is serpentine. But if you notice, you like the name of the card and the keywords are right here. They're invisible.
You can't even see them. I didn't even know there was names on
Yes.
There's keywords?
Yes.
Yeah, you just can't see them.
They look like pictures to me.
Yeah, that's
like photographs.
Let me see if I can find one that you can actually see. Like this one is way busier. This one is brecciated jasper.
Okay.
It's gorgeous. It's lovely. All of these are based off of her watercolor.
I can't read that thing.
I'm gonna see if I can find one that. Here's one. You can see labradorite.
Okay, yeah, that one.
There's something there, but it's probably hard to read.
Yeah.
So
that's like the first card so far.
Yeah, that one. Amethyst, you can kind of see, and it's also obvious. And then snowflake obsidian, you can see really well.
Okay.
But
can you see them in person, or is it just on camera that you can, or you can't see them either in person or on camera? Because sometimes the camera changes.
That's true.
See things, right?
Well, some of the ones that I showed you, like with the more busy stuff, I have to like hold it against the light to see the contrast to read it.
Robin's asking if the titles are spot gloss.
If they're what?
Spot gloss.
No, they are not. So that actually makes it a little difficult too, because they don't catch the light either.
Oh, okay.
So if they were a touch glossy, I think it would help. Especially
I think if they were spot gloss, you would just turn it to the light and you'd be able to see it.
Yes, but she did release, I think, a new version of this deck with better. I think it has like an opaque box behind it that goes across the bottom so you can read the words better. Okay. But I think what a little bit of a pet peeve is that during the Kickstarter, there was like a community vote for the keywords. And I was just like, what dumbasses voted for this? Because like you could see in the photo that the words were invisible.
Yeah, I guess they should have put the whatchamacallit, the box behind it right away.
Yeah, because that was one of the options. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. Gah. But another reason I don't really use this as much is I got this with the hopes that it would kind of maybe get me a little more interested in crystals, but I'm just not. But they're so beautiful. And I love following her on Instagram because you see her like actually doing the watercolors of these. Like this one, you can even tell that it's watercolor. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's nice.
And she has a very calming Instagram, really lovely. So I keep it around. I don't know what I'll do to use them more. Probably
would
won't.
You ever buy the new edition to be able to see the titles better? Or
I toyed with the idea, but also part of it I got it was because I was hoping I would be more into the like crystal side of things, but I'm just not. But if I start to do more, I think they would be really cool to use for more of the picket cards. So if I get more into that, I'll consider it. It's more of a like next year thought.
Yeah.
So yep, those were my my two for least used.
Robin said that they look like you are walking inside a crystal.
Yeah, they kind of do. Like it's almost like a forest embedded in a crystal, and that's what it would look like if you're walking around.
That's cool.
They are quite lovely though.
Yeah.
Maybe I could use them more of like, I don't know. Maybe I'll see if like I could dedicate them to my ancestors and they'd just be altar cards.
Oh yeah, that would be good
Yeah.
too.
Okay, number 2. I'm interested in this one. An oldie but goodie. So a deck that kind of had its 15 minutes. So why'd you pick it? And assuming this deck has kind of waned throughout your practice, what's a way you can change that? And if it hasn't waned, what's one of its strong points that you
Yeah.
appreciate?
So I understood the question as either an
Yeah.
oldie but goodie, or a deck that took 15, like had its 15 minutes of fame. So I just went specifically with the oldie but goodie section
Mhm.
rather than the 15 minutes of fame part.
Yeah.
So for the tarot, I chose the Light Seers
Yeah.
tarot. This is by Chris Ann, published by Hay House. It definitely is an oldie but goodie. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty of a popular deck, honestly. They have a tin version now of it, so you know.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. I have my video coming out this week if you wanted to see unboxing of the.
And of course, all my piggies are super excited because we want the mini because we must have mini. Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
And I absolutely love this deck, mainly because it is a really good RWS deck. Oh, where did
Where'd you
Brittany go?
go?
It's a good RWS deck, but oh, there she
Sorry.
is.
Had to go
It's
grab
a
something.
it's a good RWS deck, but it's not strictly a clone, which I really like. Of course.
Mhm.
I have an older edition. I know a lot of people have an issue with the cardstock of this deck, but I have an older edition, so my cardstock is not as cardboardy apparently as
Yeah.
the edition that's out currently. I actually got it when I think it first came out, so my edition is the cardstock is different for it. So
Okay.
I really do love the cardstock. Now, in terms of, it hasn't waned in my practice. So what was the question again? If it hadn't waned, the
Oh, if it hasn't,
strength?
yeah, what are some of its strong points that you appreciate?
Okay. Easy to read. I find it really easy to read. You can read it if you already know like the meanings of RWS, very easy to read intuitively, in my opinion. This deck is the deck that
Mm.
I understand the most when it comes to the court cards.
Yeah.
So I have no issues with the core cards whatsoever with this deck. I love this deck. Very versatile, can be used for any kind of reading, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So you can get a lot of use out of it. Ooh, my favorite Eight of Pentacles. This is my favorite Eight of Pentacles. I love it.
That King of Swords is my favorite. He's hashtag Zaddy.
Oh yes, everyone
I
calls him
love
that.
that King of Swords.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I really love this deck, because it's very versatile and
I think
everything. And
it's
of
such a
course,
great beginner's deck too.
yeah, 100%, because
Like just
the guidebook is fantastic. So you get like a really nice thick guidebook,
yeah, she's thick.
which has both keywords for upright and reverse, as well as like blurb. You have like some quotes as well, or
Mhm.
kind of like an affirmation thing that's going on
Yeah.
over here. So you get a lot of information in this
Yeah.
particular
It's really
guidebook.
nice that the minors still get like a 2-page spread in the guidebook.
Yes, so
So it's a lot of
equal.
info.
It's all equal throughout
Mhm.
between the majors and minors,
Yeah.
which her decks are always like that, in my opinion. Even the other two tarot decks that she has, it's also the same, in my
Oh, okay.
opinion, in terms of the guidebook structure. So that was the tarot. And then for the oracle, I chose the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is by Colette Baron Reed, and illustrated by Jenna Della Grataglia. This is also a Hay House deck. This is also in their older cardstock, but this one is not as sticky as the Good Tarot. I don't know what's going on with
Interesting.
that, but it's not as bad, in my opinion. So shuffling this is Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I went with oldie but goodie for this one is because when it comes to Oracle, I like decks that have imagery that is very intuitive. So you don't need to look at the guidebook. You don't need to, like, if there's like a phrase on it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. So I really like this one because it has a phrase. This one, for example, is called "Clean It Up." You see in the image, there's like I don't know, deer cleaning or whatever. But I feel like with the imagery, it's very easy to intuitively understand what's going on and how to interpret without using the guidebook, which is something I like when it comes to Oracle. And I really like that this particular deck for that reason.
Yeah.
Also, if you wanted to use the guidebook is thick as fuck. Like, look
Wow.
at this thing. It is a chonker. For every single
Heckin'
card,
chonker.
for every single card, you get essential meanings, which is like keywords or key phrases for the card. You get an oracle message, you get a relationship message, you get a prosperity message, and you get a protection message. Now, the protection message is supposed to be the reverse message of the deck. So there are reversal. You can shuffle in reversals if you'd like, or you can use the protection message as something to go deeper on instead of having reversals. So you can really, if you wanted to use the guidebook, you can. It is really freaking good in my opinion. What do we have here?
Mm.
I wish they would take off the borders of it like they did with the maps. Yeah, I don't find the borders too intrusive because they're just white. They're
And
just white
they're
borders.
pretty
And
thin. I
they're
mean,
the
not thin,
same.
but they're
Yeah, and they're
average.
the same on the backs as well. You could
Yeah.
mod the deck if you wanted to and take the borders off because the
Ooh.
backs also have the white borders, so you would just have, like, it would be fine, like it would be equal, and just cut off that white border and just reround the corners if you wanted to do that. I'm too lazy and I don't care about those kind of things, so for me it's pretty okay. But yeah, I love it mainly because I can read this intuitively, no issues. Like, you get a lot from the what's going on in the particular card, and I feel like the title gives a lot to add,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, I really like that. So that's one of the reasons why I chose this for oldie but goodie.
Nice. Alana, what about you?
Oh boy.
Did you go with like oldie but goodie and you still use it, or something that kind of was super popular with you that you no longer use?
All of the above.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, um, oldie but goodie, I would say is, and is also a deck that had its 50 minutes of fame, and a deck I no longer use. And that is the True Black Tarot.
Brittany doesn't like that deck.
It's a box fish deck where the box is better than the deck.
I like it, but it's too expensive. I would never buy it.
It's so expensive. And for what?
Oh, geez.
Ugh.
So when I came across this deck, and I think it was around the time I was first introduced to Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, you kickstarted this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was around the time when I think the campaign was, it was around the time when my life was already had the tower moment of my life, and sort of my journey into present day. My life was already falling apart. My, my health was declining. My mental health was, exploding. There was a lot of things happening all at the same time, leading up for, the last 10 years of my life. And anyway, so this came around that time.
Yeah.
For the Kickstarter. And I would say it was also the deck that kickstarted my journey into tarot.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's good.
just learning,
Mm-hmm.
you know, too, about tarot. But I already had a love of playing cards and you know, a
Yeah.
familiarity that way, I guess, if you will, but not really. Anyway, now when you see this deck, this is not a deck for beginners.
No,
No, it's
not at
really
all.
not actually.
And it's not a deck that I ever really used. I think the next deck that I kind of leaped into after that was the Wild Unknown.
Which is also not a deck for beginners, in my opinion.
That was my first tarot deck, and I love it.
Still's a
And then
unicorn.
this came along.
Literally.
Then this came along. This was, I think, the next one into that journey. Okay.
Oh gosh, you had a rough tarot journey.
Yeah. So, anyways, and as you can see, like, what? There's, I mean, you can't even. So it's spot gloss, right?
Yeah.
You can't for the titles at the bottom. I don't even know if you can see that on camera.
We can see the little wings a little bit, but that's about it.
Oh, is it spot gloss? I thought it
Yeah.
was gilded, like what do you call it?
It's a rose petal finish. Oh god, the GSM.
Isn't it 350?
It could even be. I kind of want to feel like it might even be a 400.
Oh, it's really thick.
Well, in my opinion, but then again, you know what? Maybe not. But it's a thick deck. It is a thick deck.
350 GSM. I think it's 350.
It could be, but I mean, you would have to maybe not look into the newer editions, but look at what was for the Kickstarter though, because the cardstock might, you know, differ a little bit.
What's it called again? Black Tarot. What's it called?
True Black
The True
Tarot.
Black Tarot. Or no, True Black Tarot.
Yeah, True Black Tarot.
Yeah. Not that, but yeah. Anyway, so this deck, and I remember when I went to go shuffle it, and I nicked the deck because again, I'm a riffle bridge shuffler, whatever. This was really hard, but yeah. I don't think at this point I wasn't used to shuffling anything this size and whatever. Like the closest for me were things like playing cards. Playing cards, right? So, and I have small hands, so it took a while to really adapt to something like this.
Yeah.
But right, and then of course, even reading what do any of this? What does it mean? So it had its little plate, 15 minutes of fame, and then I just spent the time going through the guidebook, putting it back in order. That was like pretty much what I did. And then when I noticed I nicked it, I was like, yep, never again. Whoop, done.
Yeah.
And then away it went, right? But I realized, but I'm never going to use it. But it was my very first tarot deck. And it was a Kickstarter. It does have it has some sentimental value, right? Yeah. So, and even the creator, the way the campaign went, because it was long. It was long. Like, I didn't get this until like 2018. And I think, right? So I think it was like he had a lot of issues, but he was very communicative and, along the way, like, right? And this was also my first Kickstarter for tarot ever. Like, I had kickstarted previous projects, but there were nothing related to tarot. Playing cards, yes, but not tarot, right? Yeah. So this was a new journey for me a bit. And, and even though it was a long awaited journey, it was, well supported, with the I felt, because in my experience with the other Kickstarters around this time too that I backed, there were some that fell through that I never got. Money was wasted and whatever. But since being in the tarot, no, there's never really been an issue per se with any of the creators on Kickstarter or anything. Thank goodness. But this, with this creator, I forget, is it Arthur? I forget what his
Yeah,
name.
Arthur Wang, I think.
Yes.
I'm just looking, yeah, Arthur Wang. I was just
Yeah,
looking
and
at the Kickstarter campaign for this deck. It doesn't say, it says 18 points cardstock. It doesn't say it's 50% thicker than the standard rider weight. I think that's around 350 in my opinion for GSM, and it's supposed to feel similar to suede or a rose petal. That's what it says on the Kickstarter.
yeah. Well, anyway, since then there's like some newer additions, and I like the I think the limited edition that has like it's got the silver on the where the spot gloss is on the cards for the patterns like on the back and stuff. I don't know if you can see a little
I
bit.
love the
Yeah,
back to the cards. It's really cool.
silver or yeah, like a
Oh yeah,
gilded
400. So
shining.
Robin's saying is probably 400 GSM, like
That's
a
too
pretty
thick.
thick art paper with no core.
That's too thick.
That is too thick,
I dislike a
especially if
lot
it feels like
about
rose
thick.
petal.
And
That's
yeah, like rose petal is already really hard to shuffle and
Yeah.
manage, and to make it that thick is just asinine.
yeah.
But again, it's it's a staple for me, and so it's again has the sentimental
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah, that
So,
makes
but
sense.
again, how it's I would say evolved in my practice is because I have found, and I was thinking about doing a comparison video for this, because I stumbled upon by the company Debra. They do the original tarot,
Oh yes.
and this was actually generously gifted to me by the company.
Yeah.
And
I really want.
I've used it in I think a few shorts on my channel and on Instagram. So you ever want to check it out, I think I posted on the rare occasions when I'm doing, collective readings or whatever. And this I feel is like the alternative for me, because if you look, and it's a much lighter cardstock, it's matte, and this is the black tarot.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, you can buy it on Amazon. They sell it via Amazon.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very very close to me, except mind you, there's no like the coloring, like the gold is not, you don't see that, but it's got a very similar feel, I feel, in my opinion. And then even the backs,
I don't. I feel like they're way different, but
I feel like I feel like they're both black, but one's more of the illuminated version to this one, and I feel like it's a fairly relatable comparison. But it's this is Arthur Wang's True Black Tarot is an indie thing, right?
Yeah.
Where Debra is more of a sort of
more
mass
mass market.
marketing
Mass
on a
market, yeah.
smaller scale, version that is
Mhm.
more affordable, right?
Yeah.
In comparison. So that's for me how it's evolved for me, that's more usable, and that I've used more recently. So that's my comparable.
Yeah, Robin's saying that she agrees with me in regards to those two are not really similar together, but she's offering one that's more similar in style to the True Black would be the Dancing in the Dark Tarot, which I agree. That one is mass market. I believe it's from Los Scarabeo. That one looks a lot more closer in terms of style to the True Black than the
And
Llewellyn.
I've seen that one too, and that one has been on my wish list as well. Yeah, and I totally see, yeah, like in that case, and I feel like for why I see you guys see the opposite is because this one to me, like I said, is more the illuminated version of what I see this being, because of the gold, where the one by Los Guerrero, the Dancing in the Dark, has the gold and everything. So it kind of, is more a mirror image, if you will, of this. Where I just feel like this is like, if you were to say like a light and a shadow of the darkness.
Okay.
This is what I would, say is what I would it's in that sort of
compare them. Okay.
opposite, if you will, of the same coin. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So what's your oracle deck that you have as your oldie but goodie?
Okay. Well, oldie good. Oh yeah. Well then. Well, I already showed you that, but now I'm recycling them because they're oldies too, and now they've become goodies. So, but also because this is another part of my earlier journey is the Sacred Traveler.
Okay.
By Denise Lynn.
Oh yeah, Denise Lynn.
And I haven't used this in like forever, actually. But I feel like I'm going to start using again very soon.
Oh, really? What's prompting that?
Just because it's been something, I think in a while it's been on my mind.
Yeah.
Like in the shadows, if you will, like in remembrance of, it being one of my earlier decks that I kind of got around the same time as, these ones too.
Yeah.
But, is in a much nicer condition. Plus, purple is, I like the cardstock. Purple is like my secondary favorite color besides blue. And of course, I realize it's the crown chakra, the color of the crown chakra. Blue is, the throat chakra. So, yeah, and then just as this, preparing for this prompt, coming up this week, it again was I feel like it was like, again, choose me, choose me, choose me. So right, and so yeah. So
yeah, I didn't know that one was matte. I thought it was glossy because that's an older
no, it's matte.
Wonder if that's when they started transitioning into matte.
Maybe.
Let's
see. Sacred Traveler.
When did I get this?
Here, Traveler Oracle.
This one was published. This is copyright 2017.
Oh, okay. Because this one has borders on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't really like the borders.
Borders are like hit or miss. Like they have to be, if they're incorporated into the card in some kind of way, then I don't mind so much.
So for this one, it takes up way too much of the art. So the art is like a small little square in the middle.
Oh.
And then you have like a big ass border on the top where it has like the title of the card. And then at the bottom, you have so much space and it's just like a sentence or two about the card. So there's like, the art is like so small compared to like everything else. That's why I really don't like it. And I'm glad that they're not really doing decks like that anymore. Hay House decks now are really great.
Oh, way better.
But they're older. Still talking about the Sacred Traveler?
Just talking about the borders and how the borders are too big. Yeah, I don't really like that. That's the only thing that I don't like about their older decks is a lot of them have weird borders on them.
But I really like this one for the cardstock, I think, and also the messages. Plus, it again, it's a deck from, my earlier journey into tarot and oracle. So That's
Yeah.
also, you know, why.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Your turn, Brittany.
All right. So my tarot is actually, I guess, technically 15 minutes of fame.
Okay.
It's the Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes. The reason I picked this is because actually this was like a huge favorite of mine. And then when I got the Luna edition, it kind of like pushed this one back, like back to the shelf, really.
Yeah.
But I still love it. This was the only deck that was ever gifted to me. So it has a lot of sentimental value in that regard. And I really do like the artwork. I like I love the newer version though for a lot of reasons. I like the diversity in it. And then I also like that you see this like really high foiling here. It's
Yeah.
gold in this one, but it's more of a
Foiling. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
silver, I think, in the other one. But I really do like this Art Nouveau style. I
Isn't the
think
other one holographic? Like the base is silver, but when you turn it, it's holographic.
um
I think it's
sorry.
holographic. Nat.
I think it is give me 1 second. Hold on.
Sure.
Let me pull it out.
I think it's holographic around. It's like a silver base and then hollow. Like when you turn it certain ways, it's hollow.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
At least on the box. Let me pull it out. Oh yeah, no, it is hollow.
Yeah.
So it looks silver, but when it catches the light, it's definitely hollow.
Yeah, look at that. So nice.
I know, it's gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, how could I not like transition over to this? Let me see if I can find like we definitely have more like Black people in this. Look at that strength card. I love that.
I know. She's so beautiful. I really want that version of the deck. I prefer it over the original, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh. Like, be still my heart. How can this not just completely take over the other deck? And then also, and since I have them both out now, I have to say this is probably the shittiest little white book I have ever seen in my entirety of my life. It's horrible. Like, it literally was printed off of a like one of these printers back here. That's what it looks like, and then stapled together. It's just it's laid out really well, which kind of sucks, but like if you look at it even on the inside, it's just like keywords. And I know a lot of people, when I look for guidebooks that would be good for a wide range of people, there needs to be more. Like, I'm okay with just keywords. I kind of prefer that.
Yeah.
But like then look at the one from the Luna edition. She's thick, first of all, and then
better quality.
Yeah, and then you can see here that they got rid of the keywords, so it's kind of sad. But like, they add a lot more detail. I feel like Alana's like cracking up.
But
it's
my God,
so much better done overall.
Yeah, it's like a better upgrade.
Yeah,
compared to the original.
So while this one will always be like, I mean, it'll always be really meaningful to me because again, it was the only deck that I've ever gotten that was gifted. And I did really enjoy the artwork. I like the style and feel of the readings that I got. And Robin, yeah, the book is too thick. I think it's because the pages are thick, actually, like the actual thickness of the pages. Because there's not technically that much information in there. It's just better.
I think it's a type of like the type of binding that they use on that guidebook. That's the thing. That makes it thick. Because they use the same for the When My Soul Whispered Oracle. So if you have that Oracle deck, the binding on the guidebook for that is also the same. And it makes it really hard to open in some places.
Robin, I try to pull it out because I feel like I have it, so I should use it. But
you could use all three together, all three of his decks together.
I could technically.
Because you have his Oracle too.
That'd be so weird. It would be trippy, but I don't not use it. It's just I'm more likely to pull out the Luna edition before I pull out the original. So I have nothing against it at all. I just really like the upgrade. So for my Oracle, this one I think kind of falls into the 15 minutes of fame, but not really. It's kind of in between. It's my Spirit de la Lune deck. I love it. It's my favorite moon deck.
I added that to my wish list on Etsy because
Yeah.
I
you
don't think
used
I've
it in
ever
the
heard of
stream.
that.
She used it in a live stream, and I was like, "Oh my god, this deck
It's
looks so."
I've
so
got to
awesome.
check that out. But
Here,
hang
I'll
on a
get the
second.
link and I'll link it in the
Yes,
chat.
it's not
So
mass market, so it's a little pricier,
It's
but
very pricey for
it's
for Canada.
so nice. I mean,
So
I don't even know
I
why I
have a
bought
suggestion for
Moonology.
you with when it comes to the ethereal visions and the lunar edition. Have you ever thought? And actually, this is just an idea that just sprung up on me while you were talking about it, and even thinking that that's been on my wish, like the trio has been on my wish list, right? But it's been hard to get because though it's US games, blah blah blah, Canada, yada
Yeah.
yada yada.
You can get it now on Amazon, but it doesn't ship from Amazon. It ships from a third party from the
Yeah.
UK. So if you
So,
wanted to get them, you can get them now.
but yeah, but like
I put them on
that right, it can, and it ends up being a little bit more expensive too, especially when you live in Canada and many. But yeah, like from that far, but anyway, but my suggestion to you: have you ever thought of mixing the two decks together?
No.
No.
So I mean, I don't mean like put all 78 and 78. I mean like swapping the same card.
Like
And
mixing and
creating like
matching.
a diverse deck between the two. So then
I
you
guess
have
like keeping
two
your favorites.
mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would do that. I haven't really thought about it.
Do
I
you have
personally
the
would not do
do you
that
have
if
the
I got
Oracle?
Do I have what?
Do you have the Oracle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And I
then
think
and then using it with that. Like that, I'm just a suggestion experiment. Like it just is something that while you were talking about them and the creator that that was an
yeah,
idea that came to mind.
I would probably be more likely to just use them all three together, but not mix and match the cards.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
It would be
Yeah.
kind of like almost like especially with the original being gold and then the other one being like almost silvery hollow. It
Yeah,
could be
silver
more
hollow.
like a regular and shadow card kind of combo with the oracle in the middle as the overall theme.
And that's exactly like how initially that I would, or and I'm intending to do it too, like whenever I do get it, but that just happened to like spring while you were talking, so that's why I mentioned it. But yeah,
if you do get it and you mix and match it though, you should do like a video on how that plays out because I'd be curious to see.
And have that
because I
process.
don't think I would ever like, because my OCD brain won't allow me to keep it that way. Like I will always like maybe I'll mess around with it, but then it would always go back to its original.
Yeah, it might be a fun thing to do for like a video, but I definitely couldn't keep it that way. I would go crazy.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah. But I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are like very bold and like, like will leap and do things, with the modifiers of decks. Those, like as cool as I think it is, and the creativity that they have and stuff behind it, like I'm like, wow, like that is so cool. And I do like how some of them do turn out, but it cringes, it just like it's right, like so for me, but anyway, but
I don't like the mixing and matching of like that one deck that is basically created by a bunch of different people. I hate that idea. It seems crazy.
Like a collab.
So
I think I know what you're talking about. The one that Rebecca Campbell, Danielle Ree kind of did, and then there's been the subsequence, and I know some people have.
I think so.
mixed, like
Yeah.
the work of light with the star seed, like people have done and made
Yeah, but
like
that's the same artist, so I
No,
don't
not that.
know.
It's
no, not that,
no,
not
it was
that.
like a Kickstarter that was basically the artwork for the cards were all done by different people. So
Oh,
like
it was a Kickstarter then, I don't know.
I
There's
think
a
it was
lot
a
of Kickstarters.
Kickstarter. It was either a Kickstarter or something or crowdfunded in some kind of way.
Oh, is it you talking about the ALANA's tarot?
Yes. That was Kickstarted, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. And
Yes.
it was cards from actual tarot decks that they asked
Oh,
for people to submit. So
yes.
each card is from actually a different deck, and it tells you which deck it's from if
Oh,
it's from a
okay.
deck.
Yeah.
Or
I
if
think
it
There's
was
a
just
few.
art, it tells you who the artist is, if it was just art
okay.
and not from a tarot
Gotcha.
deck. But yeah, they did an oracle also. Seraphina's Earth Shadow Moon Earth Moon Shadow deck is
Yeah.
also in there in the
Oh,
oracle.
cool. At least
Yeah.
something cool made it
There's
in.
also Push Kitty also did a deck it's very similar like that. I forget what it was called.
No idea.
I wanted it but never got it. And then there's also oh boy. Um hold on. Crap, now it just told. Oh, there's a low Scarbear deck. I forget the name of it. It's like in a the I think it's the vortex or something or
No idea.
the Vox Tarot. That's what it's called. The Vox Tarot is similar with like that.
No idea.
Also with the various artists in the deck.
Yeah.
And also the work of this of the creators behind the 78 tarot with their themed decks that they've come out, the limited editions over the years. Like they have an eco one, and I think they've had like aquatic. The latest one was I think a witchy kind of Harry Pottery something. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I
I don't
feel
know,
like
but
that's the
there's
theme.
a lot of collab decks out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And they're
yeah.
all horrible. All of them.
It doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're so the deck you're going to talk about, I linked it in the chat in case
Oh,
anyone wanted
thank
to check it
you.
out. So.
I see it. All right. So if you guys want to check out the Spirit de la Lune, you can check that out. So I guess just I won't go through the entire like guidebook or whatever, but I like how it for the major moon cards, it gives like different spreads for them. So like there's spreads for the harvest moon, there's spreads for the blood moon. So you can do if you do a lot of like moon work and stuff like that, then you kind of have like spread ideas for that too. But let me just go ahead and show off the cards. They're so pretty. Look at that. And I love
Oh
red.
wow.
So it has that sort of hollow in the back. And then basically it kind of almost has suits, right? So we have the waning here, and then we have like the new moon. So it goes through the different moon phases. And if you notice the colors of the cards, they kind of are associated with the different elements. So you can think of them as their own sort of suits as well. But then you can think of these as like almost the majors. These are the major moons throughout the year. So this is, what are you? The honeymoon. And they're like mandalas. But then they also include astrology. So this is Leo. This is Cancer, for example. And I just like that they have like these really cool designs on them. I like how it's broken up. In my flip through, I kind of talk about how like different ideas of how you can think of the binning of these. So you could break it up by element, or you could break it up by phases, or you could break it up by like I don't know, I don't remember all the examples, but I used to use this a lot more. It's just, and it's no rhyme or reason why I haven't. I think it's just because I've gotten so many Oracle decks so quickly over a time period that it just kind of has fallen out of rotation. But it's my favorite moon deck. I really don't know why I got the Moonology deck because it pales in comparison, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used these in lives. In fact, this is
Yes.
like one of my favorites because this is the one that I started doing live streams with back on when I was on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So this was insanely popular at the time. And I don't see other people use it very often, so it seems very like niche.
I've never seen anyone use that deck except for you.
No.
I've never seen it ever since before
Yeah.
today.
It's really a really well thought out deck. I really like it. I don't know how I even discovered this deck because I don't remember. I just remember buying it. But
What's it called again?
Spirit de la Lune.
Spirit de la Lune.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my oldie but goodie. I need to use it more. I think I have an idea of how to use it, like maybe for next year. I just haven't fully like rationalized it.
You should use it for moonwork.
I was kind of thinking that, or like, I mean, I've started to pull it out more around like the full and new moons when I do my live streams. So it's been making a more frequent return lately. But just for like more of my private use, I've been trying to figure out where I kind of want to squeeze it in because I kind of have some like tarot journaling ideas I have for the channel next year.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see where this could fit into all of that, basically, without adding more work or buying more books or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Sunblessed, welcome. All right, our last prompt is a deck that makes you reassess. So why does it make you reassess, and what is something you can do about that if you want to?
So this one was hard. I actually had to rewatch Sorsha's video to see what they stated when they got to that prompt.
Yeah.
So for my tarot, I actually chose the Crow Tarot.
Oh, okay.
So I used this a lot in the beginning when I first got it. But then when I started pairing my decks, I stopped kind of using this deck because I didn't have an oracle to pair with it. And for the longest time, it sat on my shelf, literally collecting dust because I just didn't have an oracle that I really like to pair with this particular deck. But then when it wasn't really announced, to be honest with you. I think I just found this deck, and then eventually I think MJ kind of in her newsletter said that Hay House was picking it up, was the Urban Crow Oracle. So I reassessed my use with this particular deck when I bought the Oracle, and now I paired them together. So I actually do use these decks now. Well, I use this tarot way more now because I have finally an oracle to pair with it. So I guess that was my reassessment in regards to that. I actually really love these two together. They pair really well, obviously, because her art style is the same. Though the one from US Games, because the tarot is from US Games, has borders and whatnot on it. And the oracle doesn't have really a border. It just has like a title section at the bottom. But I really liked getting this and finally using pairing together. So
yeah. So basically you had to reassess where it fit into your collection and how you could use it based off of
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then for the oracle, I chose the Amenti Oracle. So this deck I had bought for myself 1 year for my birthday, 2019, 2020. I don't even remember. It was either 2019 or 2020. I bought it for my birthday. And I started using this. It was kind of hard to use. So this deck here is by Jennifer Sodini and Natalie Miller. And this is published by Running Press. It was, I think, the first deck that I bought from this publishing house. It was the first one that I didn't even know about this publishing house until I got this for myself.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it's like affirmations, but it's set around a specific goddess from Egyptian, like an Egyptian goddess.
Mhm.
And I wasn't really sure how to like use it in my practice. It was kind of complicated a little bit. But the way I reassessed is really like just giving it a chance and like putting
Yeah.
more work into studying
Mhm.
it. That's really what
The artwork is very interesting.
yeah, I actually like her art style, Natalie Miller. She has another deck with Jennifer Sodini along with some other people. One's an actress, Kat Graham. She's an actress from Vampire Diaries. I don't know if anyone knows her. She's been in other things also, but that's what I specifically know her from. I actually love the box, Robin. It's their gift set box. It comes with their tuck box is really sturdy. Like I've had no issues with this box whatsoever. It's still in
Yeah.
great condition, which I never have that ever. Like all my other tuck box decks, they're all in
Eventually dissolve.
what's going on, but yeah, the Modern Nirvana, which I have, that one's by that's published by Chronicle Books, not
Yeah.
um
I'm not a
Running
fan of the
Press.
artwork. It feels very like modern art museum kind of vibe.
Yeah, I like it. And yeah, so it took some time to really get used to it. The entries in the guidebook are very long. So the guidebook is really thick for each card.
Yeah.
So it really just took some time to really understand
Yeah.
the cards and really understand the messages that were in here. So it just took some time, and that pretty much is the reassessment.
Yeah.
Is that it took time for me to get used to. But I really enjoy this deck very much. It's just an affirmation deck. I love the backs. They're like neon.
I do like the backs. That's kind of cool.
Neon sign kind of vibes. Yeah. Well, do you like their new box style, Robin? They have decks now that they've been putting out in their newer box style. It's like
I love the new box style.
The magnet that opens flat. Like the box style of the Junior Tarot Readers deck, the one that I put out Friday, the video that I put out Friday. Yeah, that one.
And then it opens up.
Yeah.
And then the cards are kind of in the sleeve here.
Exactly. I have that too, that Oracle deck.
I like that. Oh my gosh. She does not like it.
Robin doesn't like any box style.
She's like, all boxes are horrible.
But yeah, I actually really, really like this deck now. Now that I have taken time with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my decks for the last prompt.
I feel like you need you need like a Lightseer style deck that kind of just can be used for anything and everything.
Yeah.
Where it's not like Sil was saying before, it's not quite a clone, but it's like Rider-Waite Smith like adjacent enough that it suits like everything, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, I have the Britney Spears deck. I bought that Britney Spears Oracle. I love it. And I don't mind. Like I just slip I find the book is really easy to slip out. I don't know. I have no issues.
The ones that I don't like actually are the smaller ones, the mini ones that come in
yeah, with the plastic. That one I don't like either.
This is horrible. Like I struggle to get this open every single time.
Me too.
So I actually don't mind the sleeve. That's fine, but yeah. I didn't know there was a Britney Spears Oracle.
Yeah, Running Press did it also.
Oh.
They also have a Bob Ross Oracle coming out.
Oh yeah. I feel like I heard about that, or maybe it was a fever dream. I have no idea.
Yeah, they probably posted it on their Instagram because they
probably. That's probably where I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, Alana, what about you? What are your decks that made you reassess?
Yeah.
Did you struggle with this prompt too?
Yeah, first off, hang on. First off, I didn't watch the video because with everything that I've had going on, kind of like rushed the assignment, if you will. So I didn't watch
okay.
Source video all the way through. So I didn't even see this prompt. While the whole time that you guys have been talking, my mind has just completely exploding with
other ideas.
The decks that that I feel like will fulfill these prompts, and that's pretty much so far all the decks that we've talked about collaboratively, and then a little bit more. Here's why, and it kind of rewinds to. It also is inclusive to some of the previous prompts. The Fountain Tarot, which is an oldie but goodie. One that I haven't used in quite some time, but has been sitting there on, the outskirts, kind of like the Sacred Traveler, if you will. But
I need that deck.
But reminds me, like, hang on. Oh, jeez. This was original in indie deck, and then it came out
it's a magnetic
mass market-ish. And I say mass market-ish because it was sort of it was more on at the time on the higher end cost of tarot decks that was available.
It still
sort
is.
of thing.
What deck again?
It's the Fountain Tarot.
Oh, the Fountain Tarot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 50 something Canadian, I think.
Yeah, at the time I think it was like 40 something when I got it. And this is still earlier on in I would say my tarot journey too, that I connected with, but also had its like 15 minutes of fame, and if you will. But then not really because the gilding, again, as a riffle shuffler, it's pretty worn in.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't used it since the earlier in my tarot days either. But the one that I feel that's more recent that reminds me similar, that's a bit cheaper, that I feel sort of reminds me of it is the Guiding Light Tarot by, again, the same creator as the Black Tarot by Debra.
Oh, Guiding
Again, it
Light.
was gifted to me by them too.
That one's not on Amazon.
Amazon.com probably. I don't think it's available on our Canadian website.
The Fountain Tarot is only $26.
Yeah, for you. For us in Canada, it's $54 retail price, but right now on Amazon Canada, it's $44.19.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. Is that what the
conversion? Yeah. So, and hold on a sec. So,
I don't know if that's the conversion, but that's how much it is. 54 Canadian list price. So if you wanted to get it from a bookstore, you'll be paying retail value.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi.
I feel like as I go through these two decks, you're probably gonna have a somewhat similar reaction to when I was comparing the Black Tarot to True Black Tarot. but somewhere in my brain, it makes sense to me. So if he will, like, this one's a newer, so, you know, don't get me wrong, like the gilding's, you know, pretty still intact on this one. I have used it quite a bit on Instagram too, and it's been featured. But the oldie but goodie version, to me, in comparative, that, you know, I used quite a bit, was usable for me, but I've put away ever since. And I got around the same, relatively in my earlier parts of my journey, like, you know, true black tarot, and that's the fountain tarot. I don't, so here, hold on. Let me see. Cool. So this is the Debra version of the Guiding Light,
Yeah,
and the Fountain Tarot.
okay. No, I can see how those, like, I mean, is it the same artist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
No, it's not the same.
No. Not
The
at
Fountain
all.
Tarot,
This
the
is,
Fountain Tarot used to be indie and was picked up by a publishing house.
yeah, and this is Debra.
Yeah, different
Okay.
artist.
So the backs are like this. But the something about the borders, and then I don't know, like the sort of the lining, like, even though one's more of a straighter edge and the other one's kind of more swirly-ish, one looks a little bit more light shadow-ish, but they've got the similar, you know, and they both got the gilding, and even the boxes are similar. So there is a size difference, but
Okay.
and that's why, for me, I feel like this is like the more affordable version, or yeah. Oh my gosh.
Bronwyn
To
is
the
mass
Fountain
market.
Tarot. If you see the prism-ish kind of box.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So those are your decks that made you reassess
Everything, because again, it leads me into just, you know, the similarities of how I see things, because even you mentioned the Amenti Tarot, and what I've been using for, I don't know, the last maybe 2 months now that I've been attached to is, oh geez,
I know.
the Amenti Tarot. As Priscilla. But I'm also using.
Sorry, my internet is like cutting in and out. I don't even know what you said.
I'm also using, that I've been hooked onto, is the Amenti Tarot. So similar to, you know, loving, and yeah, right? Like same running press and everything. But I also have the Modern Nirvana Tarot, and I've been using them together, actually. So, yeah.
So you've been pairing the two tarot together?
What's that?
So you've been pairing the tarot together?
Yes. Yeah, and I've been loving it, and I feel like it gives me the same sense of how relatable the black tarot for me is, like the opposite of true black tarot, but actually what I really appreciate is the reminder of the the Midnight Dancer or the one by Los Cabello that I forget who mentioned it, and I'm like, yeah,
Robin.
that's more relatable to True Black,
Citrus.
which I feel I would get more use out of because I'm still never going to use True Black, but I can use. So that would be for me the relatable alternative, if you will, that I can use. Right? So, yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And how just like, you know, like we have similar tastes, right? Like, and we're doing this collab together. And anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. La la
la. For me, I chose Prisma Visions for my tarot deck.
Oh, okay.
So Prisma Visions was one of the earlier decks that I got. It wasn't like one of the first like 2 or 3 though, but I still bought it fairly early in like me still learning the depths of tarot and stuff like that. And while I don't think Prisma Visions is necessarily a very good deck for beginners, I think it's a really good intermediate deck because of how
very detailed.
It's very detailed. It's it starts to branch away from Rider-Waite, but not drastically so.
Okay.
So it starts to make you really think about, you know, the cards a little more intuitively. And one of the biggest things that I like, and let me try to show you guys, is how it forms like a panorama through the minor. So, sorry.
Cool.
There we go. So basically it forms like a story, and it really helped me understand so we always talk about like the story of the Fool, but one of the things that I struggled a little bit with was like the flow of the minors, and this really helped paint the picture for me and rethink how I looked at the minors. And then also it includes the courts as well. So just thinking about it like almost like the court cards are sort of progressing along this journey as well in their own kind of way. So that kind of really made me rethink how I read tarot and the relationships and all of that. And then also one of the cards I struggled with when I was starting out is the Judgment card.
Okay.
It felt very biblical and I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. It did not make sense to me. And seeing like this card really helped me see more of the like secular side of it, where it's just like you kind of have this door opening in front of you and it's like, you know, that final step before you get to the world card. And it just started to make a lot of things click. So I really like that. And I mean, that and the images are really beautiful. And
gorgeous. I love that deck. I really want it. That one and the Cosma.
Yes. They do have a mini now. So they have the Hi Luna. So they have the mini in the tin.
Still so expensive.
It is. It's not mass market, still indie. So still very expensive. But and one of the things Alana has been talking about is like look at the foiling. It's
my God, look at the bow on that though.
Oh yeah, the bow is bad too. the cards, I'm a little rough with them. I'm not like tossing them around or anything, but they're well loved. And you can like let me even show you the difference because these are still new enough.
Yeah.
So this is, you can still see that mirror finish versus this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only downside in my opinion to foiled cards, is that it just I don't know how people keep them so pristine. I guess they are like they don't manhandle their cards as much. And yeah, that bow is pretty wicked.
Yeah, either that or they don't riffle shuffle. Like me, I don't riffle shuffle, so
Yeah.
my cards that have gilding on them, they don't chip as much.
I mean, even overhand, I must just be really heavy-handed because I even remember
Maybe.
in one of my videos, I was doing the shuffle test just overhand, and I had already chipped a card, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I didn't even make it through the flip
Whoa.
through. So I think I'm just heavy-handed. I'm a little rougher with them, but I feel like it just shows that it's like well used, well broken into me, I guess, you know. But that is
Yeah.
why I prefer to get cards that don't necessarily have, you know, gilding on them. But for my oracle, I actually chose a similar one. Is the Endless Oracle. And sorry guys, these are all indie decks, so they're a little on the pricier side. But the Endless Oracle, this is by Eric Mael. If you follow him on Facebook, he's super sweet, and you can see him doing his artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
But
has nice art.
yeah, he also created the Inkwitch Tarot, and he's creating more cards for the Endless Oracle, which I did purchase. So I'm excited to get them. And he released the original Patreon only cards, so I'm going to be getting some extra cards in.
Ooh, nice.
Very excited about that. But this deck is similar to the concept of Prisma Visions in that they create a panorama when you put them together. So
That's
the
cool.
whole idea of this deck is the connection between the cards and how the story flows between them. And I wish I had pulled out the book, the guidebook. It's an actual like big book. It doesn't like go into the deck or box rather, but the spreads they use basically, or he added in, it kind of plays off of that idea of having the panorama. So it's like you are meant to lay the cards out and look at the big picture and how things flow. It kind of has like, now that I'm learning Lenormand, it kind of has like a very Lenormand feel to it.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't have to be used that way. And I think it was really thoughtful that they also included how to pair it with tarot and stuff like that. So it just gave me an idea of how to, or it was what kickstarted me wanting to try to read a little more intuitively versus worrying about, you know, especially with Oracle, worrying about what's in the guidebook and just letting things free flow. Because I'm very like, I don't buy the book kind of person. But
Yeah.
those two, but really like Prisma Vision really helped shape a lot of how I read now. And then this is really helping in my journey of trying to be more intuitive.
Yeah. So Brenwyn asked a question about the difference between mass market and indie. So mass market is usually published by a publishing house, which means that it's readily available. So you can buy it specifically from bookstores, you can buy it from Amazon, you can buy it from different shops and things like that. It's more accessible and they're made at a larger scale. So they are usually more affordable to buy. So that's mass market. Indie means that it is independently published. It's typically self-made. So if I myself was to publish a deck or create a deck, that would be considered indie because I wouldn't have a publisher backing me behind me or whatever. These are typically sold via the creators. So if they have a website or they have an Etsy shop or something, and they're typically more expensive because the creator doesn't have a publishing house behind them. So they have to do smaller print runs, which means the price is higher because they're paying for everything themselves.
Yeah.
Typically, you'll see these via crowdfunding like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or through pre-orders on a creator's website.
Hmm.
So that's the difference between indie and mass market. And then to answer Robin's question in regards to mass market suggestions for past lives and ancestor tarot, there is a deck from US Games. I think it's US Games. Tarot. There is a deck called Ancestral Path Tarot. This is by US Games. If anyone's interested in that, I can definitely link that. Give me a second and I'll link a few things. For you. I don't know what country anyone's in, but they're going to be US Amazon links, okay? Just to let everyone know. Oh, and they're probably going to be affiliate links because that's what it usually gives me when I copy paste from Amazon.
Hi, Apollo.
Yeah, there's the Ancestral Path Tarot. Let me just go on.
Is this
YouTube.
for you, Robin? Because if so, I would say probably also the Black Tarot might be good. It's not traditionally ancestor based, but I feel like the connection would be good for ancestor readings.
Yeah, by
Naisha Williams.
Naisha Williams and Kamishka Nadeau.
Yes.
Yeah. And they have an oracle also coming out. But I think it was for Branwyn.
Oh,
Branwyn
okay.
was the one who asked, and I don't know. Specifically, I guess if you're looking for an ancestor deck, I would say where do your ancestors come from? Look for
Yes.
decks that specifically are based on the ancestry line that you come from. I don't know specifically where you're from, Branwyn, so I'm just going to generically send some links because I don't know where you're from, but this one's a good one. I've looked into this one though specifically for me personally. Like I'm very mixed, so I tend to look at broader decks because I have ancestry from a lot of different places. There's a few Blue Angel decks that I would recommend. I know there's the Ancestor Spirit Oracle cards, which I believe are Blue Angel. This one is nice also. It also is very broad. I would say if you pair decks, these two, Terra and Oracle, would go well together. I know Blue Angel has another one. I think the Sacred Rebel something. Hold on, let me find it. Sacred Rebel Oracle. This one's pretty good in my opinion also for ancestor work. For past lives, that's a bit tricky in my opinion because I don't use a specific, like when I do past life readings, I use a few different decks and they're usually just regular decks. They're not like specifically geared to past life readings. So it's very hard to know, but I know there's like a few other decks that you could probably use. What's it called?
So, but hang on a second. So my nerdo brain here is listening to you guys, and I'm just thinking, okay, so when you're talking about ancestral decks, or are you talking about from like like an archetypal perspective? Because if so, I forget. It's a Hay House published deck. It's an older deck. I can't remember the name of it. But it's in a red box.
You're talking about the one by Caroline Miss? Archetypal Oracle?
Yes, that one. That one. Or even the Divine Feminine. Or like maybe from like a karmic kind of neutral perspective that wouldn't like in regards to morality, integrity, or whatever. Then I would go back to, the Amenti tarot, or even the modern Nevada oracle. That one is more of like the alchemical sort of karmic balance, DNA, if you will, I guess. Whereas, the light or shadow aspect of things, or if you want to go more ancestral, and like when we're talking about breaking karmic cycles, new chapter tarot by Liminal 11, that I feel like I actually am using while I'm also using the modern Nevada and the Amenti oracle. I like how it pairs, and there's I forget the name of it right now. It's in a green box. It's like it kind of reminds me of the Ancestral Path tarot by US Games, but this one is by Hay House, and it's in a green box, and it's got like I don't know if anybody can look that up, because I can't look it up for myself right now.
I need more information than it's a green box for
Yeah.
me to look it up.
No,
'cause I
I
don't know.
think but it's got ancestral something in the name.
I don't think so, because there's nothing coming up. Like, all I'm getting for ancestral is like I can
Hang
look
on,
up.
I think I have it.
Is it an oracle or a tarot?
Yes,
yeah,
it's an oracle. It's an oracle.
Oh, you talking about angels and ancestors?
Yes, thank you. That's the one.
Yeah,
Ah.
these are all very generic. So, like I said, they're very generic. I would say, Branwyn, if you're looking for something specific, like I gave you a bunch of different options for ancestor work, and I gave like the archetypes deck for past life. I would say if you're looking specifically to work with your ancestors, you should get a deck that is actually more geared towards wherever you're specifically from. So I don't know where you're from specifically, what your culture is. There's lots of decks out there. I would say get one that's more geared towards your culture. That would probably gain a better connection with your ancestors, in my specific opinion, if you want to work with ancestors. But if you're looking for a generic deck, I gave you a bunch. I gave you Oracle. I gave you Tarot. Two of them can work together really well. One can work by itself, and another two from Carrie Paris. Those two are really good together, in my opinion, as well. For past lives, it's a little bit harder. I know some people use the soul cards for past life readings, if you wanted to look at those. So yeah. And I would agree with what Robin's saying. So Robin's saying, I would say before you buy anything, see what kind of work you want to do and how you want to do it, and then
Yeah.
see if you can find something that will help you to see what you are looking for. I definitely
That makes
agree, but
sense.
again, I would say also, like, depending on your culture, if you're looking for a specific thing to get more in tune and to connect more with your culture, then definitely look for that, because I don't know. I also don't want to assume what culture you're from. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. That's why I kind of suggested, some of the other ones that I did, but even
Yeah, which I
and
linked
some of the
them.
generic ones, but like all of what you guys are saying are like absolutely, like I'm familiar with some of them too. And yeah, like they're great suggestions. But yeah, like I think like if we were going into maybe more specific, again, not knowing culture, right, but just throwing a culture out there, even if we go back to Norse mythology, if that that runs in your ancestry, right, like
A lot of
what's
Celtic
that?
decks out there.
Yeah, or exactly, any one of those. But what's that? I forget. It looks kind of Greekish too. It's in a white box, and it has its very own culturally specific structure, and I can't remember if it's quite a tarot or if it's quite an oracle or whatever.
I don't know.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's along the line of Norse mythology, I think,
I have
and that
no
kind of
idea.
Nordic culture.
Yeah, I don't know. Norse.
Oh no, I was just wondering because it looked like Brittany might be looking it up.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Oh.
I'm looking up decks right now, but I don't know. There's
Because
a
I
Viking
can't,
oracle.
I don't have access to a computer, so I'm relying on you guys.
Yeah, there's a Viking oracle. That's really all I'm finding for
That
Norse.
might be it. Can I see? Are you able to show a picture of it?
Here, let me see.
I feel like like Robin said, you want a deck that's like really variable for past lives. It should give you kind of like
No, not quite.
Yeah, then I don't know.
I wish I had.
Owned
Yeah,
by
it's.
Stacey DeMarco.
what?
I wish I can.
Yeah,
Anyways,
for
when I
past
find
lives,
it, I'll put
for
it in the
past
chat
lives,
or whatever, or
for
I'll
past
put it
lives,
in
you
the
can use
description
whatever.
box.
Honestly, I use whatever for past lives, in my opinion.
Yeah. But it also, again, it totally depends on, your culture and what you're, how far or, what specifically, you're trying to dig up, I guess.
There's also this one. I don't know.
What is that one?
It's a Norse goddess rune oracle. It's the only other Norse deck that's there. I don't know if it's this one.
There's one done by Danielle Norman. It's an indie creator. Actually, I won it in a giveaway. I haven't used it yet since I've had it though. But it is still
yeah, the Odin something. That's on her Etsy
thank
shop.
you. Yes, that's the
I
one.
think I've heard of that.
I don't
is it
think
the
you would like it anyway.
Odin's
Oh no, I would not.
story or whatever?
I
Say
don't
that again.
really do Norse
What?
stuff.
Oh, the Odin. I don't remember what it's called. Let me look at her Etsy.
But it's but I know it's a very
Odin
specific
something.
cultural
Odin's
deck.
playbook or something of the sort.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
remember.
it. But I know it's a very specific sort of cultural thing.
Yeah,
Not
Odin would
my
be
culture,
Norse.
but it's still something that has intrigued me to work with. So yeah, at some point. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin, I'm kind of the same way. I just use my decks for whatever they feel right for.
I really want to buy a deck specifically for ancestor work. There's a deck releasing from Red Feather that is specifically for Lisbon. It's a Lisbon tarot, which is in Portugal, and I really want it for that specific purpose because my mom's side of the family is from Portugal, and I've been to Lisbon. I've been to Lisbon many times, and it looks really, really nice. I'm trying to find. It's not out yet. Oh, here we
When's
go.
it
I
coming
found
out?
her. This month?
Oh,
No, not
so
this month.
soon.
September. Sorry, because we're not in September yet.
Oh, we're almost there.
In September. In
Yes.
September. I really want that. Okay, so I found her thing. Let me. Wait, what? Oh, she's on vacation. I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, just put the link, I guess, in the chat, and then that
I
way.
can't because I can't see her. I have another of her decks on my wish list, but it's not the deck that
I see.
Yeah, because I really want her walking meditation deck. That one's gorgeous. It's all photography based
Oh,
in
that seems right
Canada.
up your alley.
She's from Ontario, so her deck is all Canadian places, but yeah, I don't have her other deck on my
Is that the one that's in the green box that flaps over and it looks like it's rose petally finished, and I think there's like a journal, like
What are you talking about? The walking meditation?
I'm asking about what you're talking about.
The
Is that
one from Astral Mermaid Canada. She's the one who does the Odin's playbook. I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's called.
yeah.
This is her other deck.
I still don't. I still want that deck, and I don't have it yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that deck too. It's the only one that I really like from her. She has a new deck that she released not that long ago. It's like a mermaid deck, mermaid and space themed. Astral Mermaid deck, I think it is called. But yes, I love Lisbon also. I have family in
I've never
Portugal.
been. When we went to Spain, we thought about like if we thought we had to have a layover and it was probably going to be in Lisbon. We were like, oh, we can make a day of it, but we ended up getting a like straight through flight.
Yeah, but you can easily travel from Spain to Portugal really easily. I think it's
Yeah.
you can just take a train.
We
ride.
were in central Spain though, so it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a little further of a
A
journey.
little farther, yeah.
Yeah, and we considered it because we were going to Barcelona, but we were just like, no, just time wise, we just stuck
Yeah.
with Spain.
Maybe if you stayed longer, then you probably would have had.
Oh, we were there for a long time. It's just that
Oh.
we went to so many different places.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
the
That's
problem.
why.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, I do want that one for like ancestral work. But I don't know what I would get for like other places because that's only half of me. The other half is Romanian and Israeli, so I don't know what I would get for that. Eastern Europe and then Middle East because that's where Israel is, Middle East. So, yeah.
I don't know why maybe I should look that up before I put my map, but for some reason, as you talk about that side of Romanian, and I'm thinking, and at the same time, I don't know why, but Ukrainian, all that kind of relatively is ringing in my head. The deck right now is the Golden Light Tarot by Danielle Reed. That one I feel you have it.
Danielle Reed? I don't know who that is. This is a mass
Sorry,
market deck?
Danielle Reed.
Oh yes, Danielle Reed. Yes, I have.
Sorry, Modi.
Yeah, that's. I don't really, honestly, that's Slavic. I don't really connect with because I'm not Slavic. Like Romanian people aren't Slavic, in my opinion.
No, I'm not saying that, but I don't know. Like, there's something about
No, I understand what you're trying to. I understand what you're trying to say. I just don't think. Like for me personally, I wouldn't connect that with because I said it in my video too. If you saw my video, I said it. I was like, would this be good for like ancestral work with Romania and things like that? Because I said it in that video, but then I decided
I
that
don't
it
remember
wasn't
that. I gotta go
really.
back and watch that. But
Yeah, I said it was
but
not
yeah.
really my. The art style is not really
Or
my thing
even
either. So.
I don't know. What do you think about the Forhaxa Tarot?
Yes, the Farhawks. I really want that. I should be getting that
But
actually in
it's
October. Yeah, I'm gonna
so I have a funny
investigate.
story. So that's sort of connected with the Crow Tarot that I, saw, was intrigued by, wanted to work with, but never really pulled the trigger.
Okay.
Then I got it.
Pre-order.
Pre-used. Yeah. And
Pre-loved.
Pre-loved, yes, thank you. And so and I've kind of had this sort of I don't know relationship with it. But then when MJ released the Oracle, and at the time I think it was indie and stuff like that. Then when it was coming out now mass market, the Urban Crow, I was like, oh yeah, like I've wanted that kind of like balance that I could get, right? Like pairing that's by the same artist and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So then I fell in love with the indie version with the expansion pack. And then I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah. And
that
Banshee.
one too. But I wanted to just get the expansion pack. But then I was like, no. But I think I've seen, I think is it Shadow Me Tarot who did a what, like, because she got both of them, the mass market Urban Crow and then the expansion pack, and she put them together.
Okay.
But it's not the same cardstock. It's not the same back.
Yeah,
It's
of course not.
I think that, I don't know if MJ's, going to end up releasing like an expansion that's mass market, but
Honestly, I will tell you right now, I have no idea because she's been having issues with her contract with Hay House because of the newest indie deck that she has been wanting, that she tried to release. She did a first printing of, it's called the Raven Dream Tarot, and it actually went against her contract. So she can't do a second printing of that. And because she has so many decks coming out with Hay House this year and next year, she actually can't release a indie deck again until 2025. So I don't know if
and
she'll
I
be coming
really
out with
want that one. But like
she'll
I
be
just,
coming
I
out with
can't do it right
any
now.
indie right now because of her contract with Hay House.
It's
But she
crazy.
does have quite a number of things with Hay House coming out. I don't think that's one of them. What I heard is that she has a Lenormand deck coming out, which there's a listing already up for it for next year. She has the Farhoxa this year. She has the Lenormand next year. Apparently, they picked up her Roar Oracle, which will be
Oh,
coming
which
out
one?
next. Her Roar Oracle,
Oh,
ROAR, that one's
really?
coming out next year with apparently, allegedly. I don't know if it's for sure because of what's going
That's
on with her
still on
contract,
my
but
wish list.
that one is allegedly coming out with Hay House. And then the last one they picked up from her was the only one that she's not publishing indie, which is her spirit tarot that she's working on, or finished, I mean. That one's coming out from Hay House because Hay House just automatically picked it up. It's not coming out indie. I forgot the name of it. If anyone else knows,
Yeah, I
um
would love to dig further in that because I
I
really
don't
like
know,
her
Robin,
stuff.
with the LGBTQ plus
Yeah.
expansion. I have no idea if it's going to be in there. All I don't even know if it's been confirmed that it's actually coming out. She stated in one of her newsletters that it's supposed to be coming out, but I don't know if I'm just saying allegedly because I don't know for sure if that's true, if it's fact or what. She mentioned
Mhm.
something at some point, but
Knock
I
it
don't know.
off, bro.
And thank you for the compliment on my shirt, but
Yeah. And if you want
yeah.
to see my MJ sort of collection video, it's in one of my shadow work hashtag shadow work you say videos. I think might be in decks or sets. One of those, which is, if you check out my description boxes of any of my videos, you'll
Mhm.
see it's linked there. And yeah, so I have the indie one, and I did get the expansion pack. But when I think I think she had a special on her website that was like a mystery pack or something like that.
Yes, yes,
And
I
and
remember
then
that.
there was a special where you get
Some
uh
random tarot deck from her
yeah,
thing, right?
and
Yeah,
I
just
so
automatically
wanted the
picked.
Hoxa, and that was the deck that I got, the
Oh,
indie
awesome.
version of the Foroxa.
Good
And then
Yeah.
girl.
shortly after, it's being released mass market. But now it's called the Enchanted Foroxa, I think.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
they've
that's the
added.
official name with Hay House.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's
So,
coming out in October. I'm excited to get that.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
I've wanted that since it's been indie, but it's always too expensive. Like it would have been too expensive for me to get from her website because I did look into it, but the shipping is just too much. And
Yeah.
the exchange and then the shipping is just too much. So I'm excited to get that. Hay House should be probably sending me that in October.
Yeah. So
But
I'm
yeah.
so super happy that I got my wish. Like I wanted that. Out of all the decks that
Yeah.
I could have gotten in the mystery, that
Yeah.
was one of them that was available, and I was like,
Mm,
so we got it.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would use that for ancestor work though. It's
Well, I
based on
forget what the premise. Like, there is a the reason only why the only reason why I suggest that is just because I think there's like an ancestral mythological sort of connection to a
yeah.
specific culture that
Yeah,
somehow
it's
reminds
Swedish.
me a little bit of
It's Swedish?
Yeah, for Hoxa is Swedish. The
Mm.
word for Hoxa is Swedish.
yeah.
So
So I think
yeah.
that's why I was saying, like, depending on what your
Ah,
background
thank
is.
you. Tarot and tarantulas came through. Unfinished business. Thank you. Thank
What?
you. That's
Which
what I
one?
wanted to know. Because I was like, that spirit tarot that MJ's worked on is coming out. It's not going to be indie. It's going to be straight to mass market. That's the one that Hay House picked up. I forgot the name of it, and tarot and tarantulas came through in the chat. Unfinished business
Oh,
tarot
okay.
is what it's called. So yes. I keep saying I need to get the expansion for the Oracle, but I don't use it much, so I didn't see if a need for the expansion. It was cool though. Yeah, I think I saw on her newsletter she made an expansion, but I don't know if the Hay House version, allegedly, again, I don't know if Hay House actually
Yeah.
picked it up or not because they haven't confirmed it, and I haven't found a listing for it for next year, so I don't know. But allegedly, if they did pick it up, I don't know if it'll have the expansion or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be cool if it did though.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But yes. Yeah, so
I
I
think
don't
the
know. I
only
don't know what I would.
but sorry to I think if they did do it, the only way that I feel like might be feasible for them to do it, because based on how many cards realistically is actually in the expansion pack, um she would have to do like a bonus set of new cards, I think, to like beef up the expansion in order for it to be marketable. I feel for it to be worth it for people to want to buy. You know what I mean? At the cost that it would take to print, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm saying if she did that for her, but we're talking about if if it is going to be mass market, or if they're going to include the expansion in the mass market version or not,
No,
is
but
what
that's what I
I
mean.
don't
Like,
know.
for them to do that, otherwise
Oh, Hay
they would be
House.
reprinting a whole. They would be
Yeah, but I don't.
reprinting the same deck.
Yeah, exactly. They've done that before, though. They've reprinted all her decks before. All her tarot ones are just reprinted. Just they don't have the same borders as the indie
No.
version.
But I mean,
They
if they
made it.
reprinted it, they would be reprinting the same deck with the bonus cards. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if the deck that if they picked it up mass market, I'm saying I don't know if they also picked up the expansion pack to include as one deck in the box. Because that's what Robin asked, and I don't know. Because I don't know if they actually picked it up or not. Because the
Yeah, but
expansion
you have,
is
but we're still talking about the Urban Crow Oracle, right?
no, we're talking about the Roar Oracle. ROAR. Yeah, Urban Crow, they didn't pick up the expansion. The expansion came out after her mass market version came out. She released the
Okay,
expansion
never
later.
mind.
Yeah,
My PDs were woo, and we're over here. That's right. Okay,
Yeah,
the
I'm
Roar.
talking about
So,
the Roar
but I
Oracle.
really want that deck. The Roar deck, I really want. Yeah, I absolutely want for sure. So I hope that they will pick up both and include it.
I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
look
right
forward
now, I
to
still
all
That's
want
this
it.
that.
stuff.
I
We
still want
answered
the
all the
new version.
Yeah,
we answered all the problems.
I know. That was a nice one though. That was really fun because
Yeah.
I had to really like dig deep. I had to watch her video a few times to like really
Okay.
get
I
the
watched it once, like regular
yes.
normal speed, and then I watched it again at like 1.75 speed to
I
just
just skipped
listen again.
around to the different prompts just to
Okay.
hear her just talk about her going through the process of selecting the cards.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, and then I would just kind of like go back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like the tag, Robin. If you guys have any tags you want us to do that
Yeah.
are shorter, especially for the three of us, then let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you can come back and comment which tag you'd like to see us do.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess as we are wrapping up, do we have any big things coming out that you want to shamelessly plug?
Oh my god, there's so much coming out. That's the thing, but
Or any of your videos, I should say.
oh, videos. Well, I'm gonna have the Dark Crystal Tarot. I'm probably gonna put that up tonight.
Okay.
So if
Wait,
anyone
is
has
that
been
the one
interested,
by
Inside Editions. It's by
oh,
Inside Editions. It's coming out next week.
the Dark
It's
Crystal Tarot?
yeah, Dark Crystal Tarot. It's based on the
Oh, okay,
movie
never
from
mind.
It's based on the movie from the 80s, from Jim Henson.
Oh no, totally
Yeah.
different. I was thinking of the one by Vanessa Simoina, the Dark Heart Tarot.
Oh
That's the
no.
companion to her the Gentle Heart Tarot.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Dark Crystal Tarot will be up
from
tonight
Bola.
if anyone was
Ooh,
interested in getting that deck specifically because they like that movie, they like those characters. And then my Hay House Pocket deck should be up either tomorrow or Tuesday if anyone
Okay.
is interested in their pocket decks.
oh, I'm excited for those.
Yeah, it's a double unboxing. I show side by side the comparison with the full size version because I do have the full size of both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
yes.
Cool. Do you
Yeah.
have anything coming out, Alana?
Um, certain things that I'm, trying to plan and work on, but right now, I've kind of have to take a little bit of a pullback on that planning because, I've got some immediate, personal stuff going on,
That's fine.
family stuff. So once I can, that's, I feel like I'm over that bridge, if you will, of safety, peace, whatever, I don't know, what you want to call it,
Yeah.
and I can get back focused, then yeah. But I do have a lot of ideas percolating. So, and September is my birthday month, so, and just
Yeah.
some things that I know have recently come out that I'm, really excited to do and hopefully get to collab with, on. Still trying to plan that out and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Totally understandable.
that's all. That's what's going on right now. So yeah.
I think for me, I have a few flip throughs coming out, and there is a witchy tag that I would like to do my magical YouTube journey hashtag.
Ooh.
So I have to record that though. So, but if you want to see all of that, make sure you subscribe to our channels.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Actually,
There's a
maybe
lot coming.
one more plug would be I mean, if you want to see, like I don't really show, I'm not really that type of person to make the videos, here on YouTube that much. I feel like again, I talked about the editing and whatever, and there's more dedication that it, if you will, but you want to see more of it, what my collection might be about, you can follow me on Instagram. I do have more, things there. And I think more recently I've done some readings and like some collective readings and even a flip through related to, the Prisma Visions collection of James R. Eads, or I like to
Yeah,
call it James Reads,
the
is,
green glyphs, yeah.
Oh yeah.
but I actually have his in all the minis too. Yeah.
That's good.
And the playing cards.
That's good.
I didn't know he had playing cards.
Brittany has a lot of good stuff
they're
too.
actually they're a double Oracle deck and a game, if two mixed in, if you will. So yeah.
It'd
Yeah.
be cool if he came out with a Lenormand set. Just well, he has the green glyphs, but a Lenormand set to go with the Prisma and Cosma. Like, I feel like that would be really,
In the
really
same art style, yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
Mm.
You
I would love
know,
to
well,
see his
maybe if
perspective
we
on
shout
it.
that out some more, maybe, you know, maybe we just might. So
Maybe,
That's
maybe.
cool.
who knows?
Alrighty,
And who
guys.
knows what that man has up his sleeve. So,
Oh
but yeah.
gosh, a lot, I'm sure. Alrighty, guys. I think that ends our time for today.
Yeah.
So again, make sure you subscribe, follow us over on Instagram, all of that jazz, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah,
Bye.
the next one we're playing a game, so
Oh
come back
yeah.
next month. We're playing a game next month.
Yes. It'll be, I guess, sort of a surprise until we announce it fully. But
Yes, but I
yeah,
just wanted to say we're playing a game.
yes.
So.
I'm very excited for this. Alrighty, guys. Bye.